These two decided to play, so I'm gonna turn my audio off. See how loud they get.
Well, welcome everyone. One of the things that we wanted to make you aware of is it is Attorney Well-Being Week, and it was through doing some research of our own that we kind of came up with that or found it. So Bill, of course, is going to talk to us a little bit about it too. I did also want to mention that my understanding is that it's also Educators Week or Teachers Appreciation Week, I think it's called. So for those of you that have children and you want to remember your educators, this is a week to do that. As far as emergency or executive order updates, I am not aware of any new ones to share with you, but it is like the calm before the storm, I believe. I think we've been warned or given a heads up that the judiciary is going to be looking at orders this week. They're going to be looking at a stakeholders group. Of course, the governor's busy creating more checklists. We're trying to get involved in all of those fronts to be the best representatives we can for you. The other thing I just wanted to ask too is that for those of you that are listening and make it a point to listen and know others that have, we'd be interested in knowing what about Bar Talk you really appreciate. Because one of those things that we'll do is try to improve on those things that are the important things for you so that we can do a better job. And you can send that information through chat or send it by email. With that, we have our guests, our Tuesday special guest, Bill Nugent, that I can see is on. And he's going to talk to us a little bit about this week too. Bill?
Great. Well, thanks, Thad. Good morning, everyone. Today, as Thad said, is National Lawyer Well-Being Week. It's a week that's sponsored by an organization known as the National Task Force on Lawyer Well-Being, which is really an amalgam of associations that are involved in all aspects of the legal profession, including the American Bar Association, the National Conference of Chief Justices, the National Organization of Bar Counsel, and a number of other organizations representing law schools and law students, the malpractice industry, and everything else. The task force has a marvelous website that I would really recommend to anyone to take a look at. It's lawyerwellbeing.net. It's one word, lawyerwellbeing.net. And they put together this Well-Being Week. Ironically, I think it has come at a really good time because I think the profession is really under stress right now. But the purpose of the week was to emphasize the importance of well-being, but also to define what we're talking about with well-being. We use the term a lot, but we really don't see a definition very often. But what well-being is in terms of the understanding of the National Task Force is that it's a variety of different aspects that promote effective, healthy, and hopefully happy lawyers and judges and law students. And each day, the 5 business days of the week, is divided to focus on one particular aspect of well-being. These aspects are all interrelated. They're certainly not exclusive, but this is a great way to find out what we really mean when we're talking about well-being. Yesterday, which was Monday, the focus was on physical well-being, which frankly is something that we all learned in health class in 6th grade, but we may not use in practice too much. But that it involves the importance of eating well, of getting the proper amount of sleep, of getting exercise, and also of avoiding either behaviors or substances which can be harmful, addictive substances in particular, nicotine, excessive use of alcohol, marijuana, or either illegal or prescription drugs that are used not according to prescription. Today, the focus is on what's called spiritual well-being. And it really doesn't, spirituality is often associated with kind of a religious context, and certainly all religions are very involved in spirituality, but one doesn't have to be a deist to be a spiritual person. And by spiritual well-being, the task force is referring to really the importance of fostering a sense of meaning and purpose, both in our professional lives and our personal lives. And it really involves aligning our life and work to serve what are our values, and also to establish and determine what our real values are. So it emphasizes looking and consciously thinking about why are we doing what we're doing, what is our goal, are we happy doing what we're doing, and if we need to change, what should we do to change that. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the focus is on occupational and intellectual well-being. And that really refers to continued learning and development of our skills, both as attorneys or law students or judges, but also in our personal lives too, to continue growing, to continue being curious, to continue accumulating knowledge and experience. And the idea is to strive for growth and satisfaction in our work and also in our homes, and also to achieve financial stability. And that's obviously really on most people's minds right now, given the upset in the economy and the difficulties of trying to practice law under these conditions. But
Yes,
one of
it
the
is,
important
Bill.
things, pardon?
Yes, it is, Bill. I agree.
Exactly. But one of the important things to keep in mind is that financial stability does not mean accumulating great wealth. All of the studies that have been done indicate that once you get a certain level of financial stability to take care of the basic essentials and provide for your future, an increased amount of income doesn't have much effect at all on really how happy you are as a person. Thursday the focus is going to be on social well-being, and that's really involves building and maintaining connections with others, and establishing a sense of belonging, both in your community at large, but also within the profession. It also involves establishing reliable support networks, which are very, very important to, I think, us today, and it's something that I think in a lot of ways, especially in the legal profession, has become more difficult as we see local bar associations, county bar associations really not being active in a lot of rural parts of the state. So it's really important to try and focus and maintain support networks that we have, and to contribute both in terms of time and perhaps even money to groups that really matter to us, and support them. And finally, social well-being involves the avoidance of isolation. We at MAP see isolation being a particularly difficult problem in the legal profession. And it doesn't necessarily mean just being alone. One can be isolated in a firm by closing your door and working, or not working, but people think you're working because the door is closed, and not getting together and communicating with people and making contact with people. That's a real problem in the legal profession that I think we need to focus on. And finally, Friday, the focus is on emotional well-being, which really involves, in large part, understanding and identifying and using in a constructive way our emotions, using them correctly and well. And understanding our emotions is not necessarily as easy as it sounds. Emotions may come to us, but they're really disguising something else. Anger very often is fear disguised. And understanding that and being able to utilize our emotions in an effective way, control them when it's necessary, is really an essential part of emotional well-being. In addition, an important part of that aspect of emotional well-being is understanding when you are having difficulty, emotionally or psychologically, that you seek help for your mental health when it's needed, and you reach out if necessary to therapists or organizations such as MAP. If you're having difficulty, feel free to call MAP at 266-5951, and we'll be happy to assist you in finding perhaps the correct resource for you to deal with whatever issue you have. As I said before, all of these aspects are interconnected. And I think it's important to keep in mind that focusing just on one is not necessarily going to lead to what we want as widespread well-being. For example, our brain is an organ of our human body. It's the most complex organ and the one we know the least about, but it is just an organ. So exercise, for example, eating well, sleeping well, has an impact on our brain. And problems with emotional or mental health are problems, they're malfunctions of the organ of our brain. So we need to understand that, and we need to be able to get assistance for it without using or bringing in any kind of value judgment to that. I give the example of diabetes being a malfunction of the pancreas. People don't get guilty about having diabetes. What they go with, get help. There's nothing to be ashamed about if one is suffering from that. And it should be the same way with a mental health problem. It's just a matter of your brain. It needs to be taken care of, and it can be taken care of. And to the extent that we remove the value, shame, whatever, yes, we'll be a lot better off and move a lot faster, excuse me, to achieving a state of mental health. And that's it for me today.
Bill, thank you very much. And I've been one to catch myself in the emotional well-being sector of finding myself feeling short when with others when I'm interacting. And it's funny that that's placed on Friday because it seems like if there's a time that I do find myself getting emotional, it seems to be on a Friday. I don't know. Must be the end of the week. But thank you very much for sharing, and we all can use some reflective time on our well-being. That being said, Angela, business side updates.
Good morning, everyone. Real quick, we have a Board of Governors meeting coming up on May 19th. Please feel free to reach out to your governor of your district and let them know about anything that you'd like them to bring to the meeting or get discussed at the meeting. You can email me or you can email your governor, and those are the emails and who they are available on our website. Obviously, Bill has already talked about it being Lawyer Wellbeing Week, and we were a little remiss in not starting this yesterday. There's a link right there for you, and I wanted to quickly touch on, this was the slide I was showing when Bill was talking. There's an actual daily slide. This was Monday's slide, so Stay Strong, Physical Wellbeing. It has things that you can watch, TED Talks, it's got articles you can read, and then it gives you a challenge. Monday's challenge was try to do your meeting standing up or walking, or even just one. I'm standing today. I'm lucky enough, I've got a standing desk here at the house. So I'm standing today to try to catch up. And then this is today's slide, and we'll have the rest of the slides for the rest of the week, but you can see that there's another TED Talk, another article, and then there's a challenge activity guide that you can try out. These will be posted on our website not long after the conclusion of this meeting, so you can catch up with them there, or you can go to that link that I provided earlier. And we have a few more guests for us this week, so we hope you'll join us.
Thank you, Angela. just to throw out there, for those of you that haven't listened to one of the TED Talks, you can pretty much find any one of them on what do they call that? One of our apps that we have on our phone. I'll think of it in a second. But along with that, on the personal side of things, I am thankful for those that practice mindfulness. If you've ever worked with someone or had to, work sharing information with someone that is practicing mindfulness at the time. Bonnie Gould reminded me it's YouTube. YouTube has a lot of those TED Talks on them, and they're pretty uplifting, by the way. And back to the mindfulness part, it really is great to be able to speak with someone that is practicing mindfulness and is focused and actually listening to you and responding. So I'm thankful for those that I've run into that do give me their attention. We are out of time. If there are any alibis, Angela, or questions that have come up? Seeing none, thank you very much for your time, everyone. We'll see you on Wednesday with Jonathan Sarbeck, who is the district attorney for Cumberland County, who's going to talk to us about how he's planning on swinging into from being in the COVID-19 shutdown to being in an open type status. So we're looking forward to hearing from him tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.